with Bob Holliday, and then we'll scoot towards the back.
Coach, more than half the teams in the league are replacing their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You went through that last year.
Yep.
No matter how good the quarterback is, what are some of the challenges that you face when you got a new guy under center?
Well, I think being able to make sure that he can match up with what the guys around him can do. I think that's where they say, well, what can the quarterback do? Well, what can the guys around him do? Making that match and making him have success early. I think it's very important for quarterbacks to have success early because I think you can lose confidence. Once you lose confidence, it's a hard thing. And I think you can lose a guy before you make a guy. And I think you have to be very controlled in how you call plays and situations you put him in. But that also can be dictated by the kind of defense you have, the kind of running game you have. So I think having the right people around really make a difference. But some guys can adapt to it. You know, some guys can take it all early, but very few can. And I think one of the key things is making sure that they are in positions to have success early so their confidence grows.
The camera platform very back.
How you doing, Coach? Mitch Brown with WTKR TV right here. I'm in Norfolk. Can you just talk about your guys on the defense, Derek, Josh, and Levante? They're a year older. What do you expect from them? And then also, you also got Kalen LeBourne coming in as well as a freshman. Can you just talk about the dynamic that your 757 guys bring to that team as well?
You know, I say this every year, and people, there's great recruiting areas all over. But when you talk about true athletes, and you talk about every sport, you talk about great football, basketball, 757, and that, you know, that Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, you know, whatever, that whole area right through there, it's tremendous. I mean, it really is, and has been for years. You go back to the history of it, from Lawrence Taylor and Dwight Stevenson to, you know, J.R. Reed to the Vixen. I mean, you know, the basketball guys, everybody, the Uptons, everybody in baseball. It's a great competitive area, but those guys have all been a big part. I mean, Derek Nottie is going to be a tremendous nose guard for us, very strong, very powerful. Josh Sweat, who was the #1 player in the country till he got hurt, has had a great career, really came on last year in the run and pass stuff, and is really having a great offseason. Levante Taylor, one of the top corners in the country, can play nickel, contributed big time as a freshman. Kalen LeBourne, hopefully, will have an opportunity to do that. We think is going to be an outstanding player. So, I mean, all those guys have been, and it all started because the guy was just down there visiting us the other day, E.J. Manuel. He was one of the guys who started it from there. E.J. was one of the great players in our history and kind of laid the groundwork for all that. So that's a great area for us. It's a great recruiting area, and those guys all have tremendous futures, I think, now and possibly at the next level, too.
To our left, fourth row.
Coach Tom Shanahan from FanRagSports.com.
Okay.
You know, traditionally we've always thought of the quarterback as the toughest position to play in football. The game's getting more sophisticated, yet more and more young quarterbacks are winning the Heisman. Why is that? And talk about why DeAndre's been able to handle it at a young age.
Well, I think not only in football it's a hard position to play, I think it is in all the sports. I really do. I think there's nobody that has the multitude of things to multiply and go through when you talk about 11 guys on defense, 10 guys on offense, and then everything that can happen in between, and you're able to execute. But I think the way our development of guys at an earlier age, the way high schools now are spreading the field, throwing the football, and I think, but also in college, a lot of guys have it because they're running the run and shoot stuff or the spread, and they're making decisions for him from the sideline. We don't do that. We know we put him in a pro-style system and make him learn what they do in the NFL. But I think the ability for guys to develop at an early age because of the 7-on-7 leagues now, the way in high schools are now spreading the game out, and guys are just throwing it more. They're making better decisions. They're being more equipped when they get there and being able to throw the football.
Coach, right up the aisle to the right.
Jimbo, Nicole Auerbach, USA Today. Conference supremacy is a big issue for fans, and your comment that you believe that the ACC is the premier conference in college football. I was wondering if you'd expand on that, and also, I mean, even today there were comments made from the SEC West about that division, and your division would certainly have a case as well.
Well, I would say 2 of the last 4 national champions have came from here. We played for 3 of them. You talk about 8-3 and playoff games and Power 6 major bowl games. We're 8-3, non-conference records. Against the SEC, the Big Ten, and everybody else, we have the winning record, the only one against the most Power 5 wins. You have 2 Heisman Trophy winners. You also had the runner-up last year. The coaches, you have 6 coaches in the top 20, an all-time winning percentage in college football. I mean, you go down the list of everything, and I think the importance of it. I think it's become, and it's very important now in the ACC. I think the programs have developed that way. And it's not that I coached in the SEC for 13. I think it's a tremendous conference. I think the Big Ten's a tremendous. I think they all are. But I think right now, with what we've accomplished in the last 5 years, you're talking about major wins, big wins, national championships, Heisman Trophy winners, coaches, everything that goes involved. I think the ACC is as good a league as there is in football. I really do.
Camera platform in the very back, white shirt.
Jimbo, Zach Glover, WDBJ7, Roanoke, Virginia. Just wanted to get your opinion as someone that has taken over for way back here, over here. That's all right.
All right. With what? Okay. With what? I couldn't hear what he said.
That's all right. As someone that has taken over for a legendary coach, what do you think your feeling is on how Justin Fuente did over this last year?
Oh, I think he did a tremendous job. To be able to come in, what Frank did at Virginia Tech, I mean, it was unbelievable. I think it was 8 or 9 straight 10-win seasons right there before the end, and what he took them to a national championship game and all the title games in the Big East and the ACC, and I think Frank's going to be I think Frank definitely is a Hall of Fame coach, and for him to walk in there in those shoes and go 10-4 in that first year, play for an ACC title, and do the things he did, that's actually what we were. I think we were 10-4 the first year and played for an ACC title also, but I think Justin's a great young coach. He did it at Memphis. I think he has great play calling abilities, great dynamics in what he's done, and I think it was one of the great jobs in college football last year.
Coach, to your right, first row.
All right.
Coach, speaking on mental toughness for DeAndre, just what you can say about his mental toughness and how you saw him handle adversity through games and through the season last year.
I think that's the thing that we all are. When guys are so talented, they come in, they think of all the physical things, making the right reads. But at the end of the day, the ability to compete and learn how to compete and learn how to process the game and move on from these situations and take the physical part of the game and understand you're going to get hit, you're going to get pounded, and you're going to have to come back from that. You're the quarterback. No matter how you feel, what you do, you got to understand that. And I think that was something we worked on hard. I think he bought in totally. What I love about DeAndre, he allows himself to be coached and allows you to take those steps with him. And I think our team gained tremendous respect for him. I mean, you go back and you research him on third down, him in the red zone, him on fourth quarter drives, 5 of them that took us back to 4 of them we won, 1 of them we gave up a lead, but he took us back and put us and made those drives as a freshman in key moments, understanding how to win, how to play in big moments. I thought it was outstanding in what he accomplished, and I think our team understood that. Now I think they have such respect for him that they understand when he says things and does things, they respond, and he's doing a great job of communicating to his teammates and getting them to come along with him, and just very proud of the development he's made, and he's fun to coach.
To your left, fourth row, blue shirt.
Alex Dodd, TCI. You lose a lot of starts on the left side of your offensive line. How's your offensive line gelling so far, and what are your plans for improvement after some of the protection issues from last year?
I think also health-wise, I think we get Ricky Leonard, a lot more experience up front. Dickerson, a lot more experience. Derek Kelly now has really came on in the offseason. Very proud of him. Cole Minshew has really developed in what he's done. Everybody's gotten healthy. He played the whole year banged and bruised, and now he's already up to 305 pounds because of his injuries. Now he can work his lower body, the strength he has. The young players baby on with it. And then you have Josh Ball. You have Juwan Williams. You have a lot of guys in that second group right there that have played and I thought had outstanding springs. We have good players. I think they understand what they have to do. We're bigger. We're stronger. And I think even DeAndre's presence around to get us in the right plays, get us in the right protections, and do all those things, even enhance that ability. And I'm really anxious after spring and how much work we've done in this summer. I'm really anxious to see him in the fall, and I think we'll be fine.
Let's go back to the cameras in the very back to the far left.
Hey, Coach Fisher, Mark Larson, Spectrum News, Syracuse. So the opener against Alabama, I asked DeAndre about it, but what are your thoughts as a head coach playing a team like Alabama right out of the gates? Some coaches would like maybe a week to get warmed up.
Well, I scheduled it, so I better be ready for it. No, it is. I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's what college football is about. I mean, you get to walk in that atmosphere and environment. You're talking about the 2 winningest teams in college football in the last 7 years. I think it's great for our leagues. I think it's great for college football. I think we find out where we're at. And I think, not every year you have those games, but I think sometimes you are. And I think this is the year that we're both prepared to be able to do that. And I think it's an outstanding chance for us to take another step toward how we want to play and the things we want to do. As you know, Nick is one of the great football coaches in this country and one of the greatest of all time. I believe that. They have a tremendous program. They have tremendous players. They're going to be well prepared. How they're built from big physical guys to fast dynamic guys. I mean, they've got everything. So we're going to have to really have our A game and be ready to play. But then the big thing about that, which is, we turn and play ULM, then we turn around and play Miami, NC State right after that. So, I mean, we have a heck of a first series and then go into Wake Forest, before we even have a break. So we got 5 games right there that are very demanding, very tough, and not only in the Alabama game, but how they're going to impact all the way down. So we have our work cut out for us. But, if you're a competitor and you like those things, those are great opportunities.
Coach, to your left, third row, just in front of Gene.
Yes.
Gavin Oliver, the Clemson Insider. Coach, what did you think of Clemson's run to the national championship last season and the impact of that for the ACC?
Well, I think it's good. I think it solidifies it. Now we've had 2 teams win in the last 4 years, and they also was a runner-up. I mean, I knew Clemson would be in it, and we played them. I mean, they have been Dabo's done a tremendous job coaching. They have great players. They got a great program. They got great history. Football is very important there. You knew it was going to be good, and I was very happy for them. I was very happy for our league and what they did, and it just reestablishes our brand and what we do. And that game has turned into one heck of a game every year. I mean, it's whoever wins it has a chance to win it all. Not only win the ACC, but win a national championship, and plus then it's raised the competitiveness of the rest of our league. I mean, you go top to bottom. Like I said, our league is extremely demanding, and I was very proud of those guys and happy for them.
We've got time for one last question for Coach before we release him to the ESPN folks. Who wants it? To our front, to our left, right at the end.
All right.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
A lot of attention has been given to the Florida State-Alabama game, but you guys also play the 8th toughest schedule in the country. How do you keep you guys focused, especially your young players focused and prepared throughout the season, knowing that there's more games than just Alabama?
Well, that's exactly a great point, which I think hopefully last year taught us that we opened up with a very good Ole Miss team, and then had another game, and then we went to Louisville, got banged up. Louisville was ready for us, jumped on us. We got the same scenario this year with Miami. Then we play NC State this year, and last year we played North Carolina, and then we had Miami right after that. I think last year will hopefully make us understand that it's not only a one-game deal at the beginning, that it's going to be all the way through in that first half of the season. We're going to have to be extremely prepared physically, mentally, psychologically, in every way for it. And then I think last year hopefully will be that great teaching tool because you learn from your experiences, good and bad. And I think those are key points in coaching. But I think that's going to be responsibility of Derwin, of DeAndre, of reinforcing to our young guys how this is not a one-game deal. This is going to be that first time we get a break, get to recoup, and then go down the second half of our season, which is going to be tough. As you say, we open up with Alabama, we finish with